of paper cutting.
开始个这样子，
别说一会儿。
你得学一会。
So he learned this from his master. He had been doing this for 40 years. This is a traditional chant.
What's the name of it?
Oh, no, I mean, what's the name? His name.
No, isn't there another name for it?
It's part of James.
Are you thinking of the Japanese
Yeah.
origami?
Origami.
That's Japanese, I think.
Look at the pandas. How nice.
Some simple ones, just 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to finish one.
It's starting to look like something here.
P-O-K-Y?
P-O-R-C-U.
P-O-R-C-U.
P-I-N-U. Do you want me to write it?
Oh,
Pine. Poor Q. P-O-R-C-U. Every calendar is different. Oh,
是在车顶，车顶。哎，这个。
是女啊。
And now I think we're going to see the finished product here.
Does that tell? Oh. Does that tell Harry's 43? I mean 48. Harry 1948.
Yes.
1948.
Bunny, I thought it was a rat.
Well, we're gonna double check. Look at that.
就是牛耳朵一只嘛，
因为是劳动。哦，没有是劳动，劳动的女士的。
老两呀，就老两地，劳动的。
女士的是劳。
It's the rat. Ask her if that book tells if they get along well, the rat and the ox.
Yeah.
Ready? Yeah,
Do I get to be a rat?
the rat. And I get to be an ox.
Yeah. 这是女。一个是女的，一个是老爷。
Does that book say whether or not we get along well? Yeah. No, does the book tell if we get along well? An ox and
Compatible. Are we compatible?
No, that never say that.
No.
No.
Okay. We're almost done here.
You know, we have 12 animals, and the rat is the first. The first one up to 12 animals.
Beautiful.
Now a little rooster glue. And now we have a rooster postcard. Ta-da!
That's beautiful.
What a job! What a job! Okay, this is us having a wild ride down the streets of Shanghai. Our driver has yet to hit anybody, but he's been close. He's been very close. Ah, we're slowing down now. Oh, there's a man. We missed him too. Hold it. Oh, God, this is great. Hello? Hello. Little conversation with a biker. Whoa, look at that. I almost missed him. Diane wanted to see these streets, and we're seeing, oh my God, a bus, a bus! Look out for the bus, oh God! Oh my, we missed him. Missed him by that much. Oh boy. If you'd like any fruit, I can pick some out of a basket as we go by. That's how close we come. Oh, this is a restaurant over here, guys. Anything that has lights is a restaurant. We found that out. There's the menu right out front. Whoa. Dad, you would love it over here. I'm telling you. Oh, we missed another one. Oh my gosh. Oh, I missed another one. Oh boy, okay. Okay, we're parking now, even though we're getting yelled at. Look at our attendant out here saying we left too much space between cars. He says, you must think we're crazy here. Look at all this space down here. Now we're having a little discussion about it. Here we go. We're gonna have to move, I think. Extra cost for taking up too much space. Okay, that's the end of that ride. The Hare's Wild Ride. Here we are walking down Old Town Shanghai. It's really easy for me to film because I have a better vantage point than most. Over to the left, there's little Diane. This is called, our guide called this the Black Wave. She said, because from where I stand, it looks like a bunch of little black heads bouncing up and down. Of course, there's always one oddball head stuck in there. What? Here it is now. Diane didn't even tell me the curb was coming up there. I almost killed myself. Oh, now we found part of the Old Town Shanghai flea market. Just like in every other place. Okay. Guess we're getting ready to go to some stores now, so we'll fade on out of here. Well, here we are now in Shanghai, and gosh, this is some garden, but I cannot remember what the garden is. Just wanted to show you the area surrounding it. I know it's very old. Of course, most of China is very old, so I guess it doesn't really count, does it? And over here is my little Diane. Now, she doesn't like to smile in pictures. Now, she's waving this time. Look at that. She's such a honey. I couldn't get her to wave in the still picture. She said, why do we have to wave? But don't worry, I didn't push it, Mrs. Taylor. I told her, if you don't want to wave, Diane, you don't have to wave. There's no reason for it. Anyway, this is a quick look at the garden, and we'll tell you what the name of it is sometime later, because I honestly cannot remember, but it's very beautiful.
These are some of the aged people in Shanghai that are doing exercises. So Harry has decided to join them. He's by far the most handsome.
He's going the wrong way.
Beautiful setting outdoor in the garden for this. Harry's working up a sweat.
No sweat, just regular.
All right, we need to save some film for the circus.
Well, right here we're looking at a pagoda in the Chinese garden. I forget the name of the garden.
Is it still sticky?
Diane's over there finding out. That used to be, until 400 years ago, the highest point in the city of Shanghai. Looking off to the right, you can see it no longer is. And this is the, what garden is this, Lee?
Yew garden.
The Yew Garden. This,
Originally, these stones were stuck together with rice and limestone because they had no cement.
Sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
yeah, we've been eating a lot of that. It would stick anything.
My stomach's stuck.
I'm telling you, that sticky rice is good stuff. Okay, I'm just going to go pause here and we'll take some more of the Yew Gardens in just a second. Diane's been saying, look at that a lot. I think she likes it here. She likes Chinese garden. Look, there's Chinese fish down there. And over here, we follow up the canal and over the bridge. And now we'll wait to see something else in just a minute in the Yew Garden. And right here, although Diane thinks it's too close, we have a look at the dragon with those lobster antennas. And underneath is a toad, and she'll tell us the story of the toad in a minute. No, Diane, you come tell it. You know the story. Come here. Quick, tell it fast.
There's 5 characteristics of the dragon.
Yeah.
He has the horn of the deer,
Eyes of shrimp.
the eyes of the shrimp, the claws of the eagle, 3 legs,
Body of
the body of the snake for fishing,
fish.
and the toad down the bottom.
Make a ring for the dragon. Because the dragon needs water. It is thirsty easily after each fires. He bring it high, and afterwards the frog offered the water for him. Then after that, the frog live on the saliva that drops from the mouth of the
Oh,
dragon.
and the ball in the dragon's mouth is the long life.
Wait a minute. I got to back up so you can see the ball. Okay, there it is, folks. There's the ball in the dragon's mouth. So now you've seen all the parts of our dragon and our toad. Okay, on to the garden. Okay, we've passed the dragon and now we're at the tea room. And I think from here on everything is pretty much going to be the same. So we're going to fade out on the gardens here unless there's something really important that Diane tells me I have to film, in which case I will make an exception. Bye, sweetie. Deb, we're going to show you some popcorn here.
Caramel on it, but it's a lot.
This is the way you make some popcorn.
One like that. That's what
This is a real popcorn popper here. This is what they pop it in. They turn this thing right. Here he goes right now. He's giving you a demonstration. It's perfect. Yes, that's great. That's a good job. He's showing you how to pop it. And this is pops over here after it's popped. Now here comes Diane. Here comes Diane to buy some popcorn. She's gonna pay up, take 1 bag of popcorn, and look where it went. Immediately he got a hold of it. Look, he's happy as can be.
He never see this kind of money.
He's thrilled to death. He likes that. Everybody's looking at that Diane money there, boy. She's done another wonder again. Look at the face of a hero. There it is, right there. As soon as she turns around, you get a good look. There it is.
Let this batch burn.
Face of a hero. He's blowing her a kiss.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, we're out of here now. One more time.
He's getting nervous about people.
Well, here we are. We're at the Shanghai train station, getting ready to take a little ride over to I can't remember, Suzhou? Suzhou? Anyway, it's got an S in it, and that's where we're getting ready to go. This is the trains that we'll be on. And we've been booked in first class. We have soft seats. We went to the soft seat waiting room. Thought I'd point that out to you. This is what the terminal looks like, and I'll show you what the peon section looks like, which we won't be in. How many people are waiting for this train? Okay, this is a real quick look at the train terminal. Now we're not going in this section. This is half of the waiting room that you see here for the train, the stand-up seat, hard seat section. Okay, I gotta go. They're gonna be yelling at me in a minute. I'm gonna miss the train. Okay, I'm now approaching rapidly section number 16. I'm in section number 17, and I'm sure when I get there, you'll find our guide Lee and Diane waiting for me to find out where the hell I've been. Oops, I mean where the heck I've been. Oh, there they are. Right there. They're waiting for me. Okay, they're looking at their watch. The train is making that shushing noise, so it's time for me to stop filming. I've got to get on now. And here we are now. Little Diana is all seated in the soft seat section over here. She's not looking too happy. That's because she's probably starving to death. She hadn't had any food for the last 3 days. So all she can eat is rice and this green weed that they call a turnip heart. And even those have been pretty rotten lately. For breakfast, she has to throw away all of her food. The eggs, the meat, they're too greasy for her. But we're getting ready to take our trip right here. So I'll just turn this off for now. I just wanted to show you what our seating compartment looked like. We're in the fancy section here. There we go. Diane can always get a job here, as you can see. This is the cart coming up on the train. This is our service cart. We have some dried figs, some beer, some cigarettes, and some nuts. Very good stuff. So she'll never be without a job. There's always room for someone to work on a train. And now I'll show you the folks that we're sitting with, who speak fairly good English considering.
Harry, they were just confirming that you got an excellent deal on your video camera. His brother has the same model.
Really?
And he paid at least $1,050. How much did you pay?
900. 850, something like that.
No.
They're trying to figure out what kind of deal I got on my video camera right now.
American order.
Now here's Diane. This is what Diane wants from the train right here. Now whether we have this or not when we leave, we'll find out. Now her fingers got in that picture accidentally, but I had nothing to do with it. I just want you to know that's what we're going to. That's what she's over there calculating away. That girl's a calculating woman, I'm telling you.
They were telling us what a good deal Harry got on his video camera. They like his video camera over here.
Anyway, we're discussing with these people, and that's the end of our train ride. It's a very nice Chinese couple who have a daughter in Ohio, married to a Chinese man who run a Chinese restaurant in Ohio.
Japanese Kano.
Yeah. Well, here we are. We have just arrived in the city of Suzhou, and we're going down a typical little street. It's quite pretty here. Not quite as dangerous driving as it was in some of the other cities, but as you can see, the horn is an essential part of driving anywhere in China. You must have a good horn. No matter where you go, the bicycles are everywhere. This is a very pretty street with the trees. Anyway, just wanted to give you a little local taste of Suzhou as we drive down the street here on our way to our hotel. I'm sure we'll see much more in a few minutes. Dad, you would go absolutely nuts driving in China. I mean, you cannot turn your head without seeing 5 bicycles. I'm not kidding. You'd go crazy. I don't think you'd drive more than a block before you gave up. Okay, we're going to fade out on this and wait till just a little bit later and see if we can pick up some more of the local flavor here. Oh, making a turn. Okay, we're coming to our hotel now, so this is the end of part 1. If she will stop touching that sign. This is a weather forecast at our hotel. We just checked into our hotel in Suzhou, and we want you to take a look at what the forecast for tomorrow is. So if you think today is bad, Just wait until you get to tomorrow. This is what tomorrow's going to be like. Very interesting way to forecast, huh? We'll spice it up, I promise. This is a quick look at our hotel room in Suzhou. And on the bed over there, you can see Diane's coat, which has been flung on the bed, and our luggage. This is our luggage for our 2-day trip. We had to travel light and leave everything else in Shanghai. Hopefully some of it will be there when we return. We're not quite sure.
Hopefully it's not Shanghai.
Did you hear that? Diane made it funny. Just a minute. Could you tell the people what you just said, Diane?
I said hopefully our luggage is not Shanghai.
Oh, she is so cute. She has been so cute on this whole trip. Let's see, what is she doing right now? She is.
I'm making myself full of ladyhood, full of beauty. I was told that I was full of ladyhood by someone in Beijing.
And boy, were they right. She's full of something on this whole trip, I'm telling you.
Piss and vinegar.
All right, we ready for lunch?
Just a minute, almost. And this is a quick look outside the window of our hotel. We have a very nice room for a change here. This is the first time we haven't overlooked the tops of air conditioners and other things. It's really funny how this city is designed. You can see off in the distance all the new buildings and the industrial buildings and the skyscrapers, but yet if we pan right down here, this hotel, the guy told us, is built in the very center of the old city, and all the homes around it, well, old I think would qualify. As a matter of fact, if you take a look over here to the left, I do believe that they're over here repairing one of the old homes, which looks like if it gets any older, it's going to be a lost cause. They're just out there taking the afternoon, putting their house back together. This is a quick look. Now we're getting ready. Oh, Diane just made a major discovery. No toilet paper. We're getting ready to go down and get some lunch and then start our tour of Suzhou. Hope you enjoyed the show in Suzhou. Oh, I think they're fighting outside. I had to show you, we just checked into our room, and as soon as we checked in, they brought in our fresh water, and look what they brought us over here. Some beautiful fresh flowers, as soon as I can see them over here. We have some beautiful fresh flowers that they brought us. They're taking good care of us already, and we've just been here a few minutes. I had to film that very fast. And a fruit basket, too. Look at that. Very nice. Thank you so much.
Zaichen.
Boy,
Harry,
talk
are you
about
sure you-
first class.
Are you sure you didn't order those for me?
Now, what my little Petunia doesn't know is that, of course, I had those flowers sent up special for her.
He just spoils me rotten.
She would never suspect it in a million years, but that's just the way I am.
It's just like Harry to take credit for someone else's work.
And let me get... Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let me get one more close-up of our little flowers as we fade out. We're going to fade out on Taylor here in a second. We're now looking at the entranceway to the Garden of the Master Fisherman in Suzhou. And it's very beautiful. And Diane was especially impressed with the three-dimensional carving that we have here, which you will see a lot more close up here in just a second. This is a three-dimensional carving in the doorway, and they have one on each side of the doorway. I'm not sure what the Chinese lettering means across the top. Maybe that's the name. And here is the three-dimensional carving on the other side. It is very pretty. I better go now. I'm going to leave this on, take the fader off, and just give you pieces of the garden as we go through. But it is very beautiful. Also, these doors are called fire and wind doors. You can get a quick look here. They're inlaid with brick on the inside, so if there was a fire outside, the owners could shut the doors, and then from that point, the fire would not be able to get into the house since everything was made of wood back in the early days when these doors were established. Okay, that's all for now. Over here in the grand receiving room of the garden is what looks like a beautiful photograph or painting, but what that really is a piece of marble that has been cut and framed. They decorated their walls with pieces of marble because they had different looks. Like this one looks like some trees with the river flowing through. Very different looks. And in all of the ancient Chinese homes, they had two receiving rooms, one for the men and one for the women, which they should still have today, but they let the women in anyway. And they also had two walkways with which to get from one place to the other. As we saw in one of the gardens the other day, they have a nice wide walkway for the men and a little skinny one separated by a partition for the women, since they had such dainty little feet. So the men and the women were very segregated in early China. And there's the lamps up top that Diane wants, but I don't think we're going to be able to carry one of those home. And here we see the garden itself with the pagoda in the front, and that's a mirror in the background that you're looking at to make the garden look bigger, make it look like there's another garden behind. Don't let this worry you, folks. Diane and I are riding in the cockpit, and there is, up ahead, Beijing Airport. We're on short final for landing. We're both sitting on, I'm sitting on half of the engineer's seat, and she's sitting on half of the third captain's seat. Strapped in extremely well, as you can see here. This is our landing mode here. We're almost there. Coming in for touchdown. Runway 36. Looking pretty good. Very nice. A little bumpy here on the rollout. We're now in reverse. We're now out of reverse. And it's welcome to Beijing. And here we come in. What the heck is that? Diane's hit another button on the camera. I didn't notice. There's a big X flashing at me down here. I have no idea. There's a Super 80 beside a 747 as we come in to Beijing Airport. And that's where we're going to park, I do believe, is right beside that Super 80. So it's time for us to fade out. Yeah, that is where we're going to park. Here's the director over here. Okay, I think we've just about finished our short little tour of Beijing Airport. We are coming to a stop, and the tape is coming to a close. And here we have a barber shop. Randy, we thought you'd appreciate seeing this. This is a barber shop in Beijing. This is the way they do the job over here. Outside in the middle of a busy street, on the corner, you can have the female or the male, doesn't make any difference. And I bet you get one heck of a cut. This is for special interest group for Randy here. Wanted to show her the Salon of Beijing. And now we'll fade out on that while they're both cutting heavily. Isn't that great, Randy? What we have here is a close-up look at a butcher store. This is where they grind your meat. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button, guys. This is out in the open market in Beijing. You get your hamburger right here, and they come right to the front door with delivery. Absolutely no problem. You can pick the piece of meat you want, and it's right there, freshly ground for you by the butcher. Here's here's Diane showing her prowess with strangers. So Diane, say hello to the little boy. That's the effect she has on children. Try again. I can't believe that Jessica even talks to her. That's just the way it is. He has nothing to do with her. Then they let it continue to run until only the larva is left. And you can see if you look close in here, closely, some of these are very, very, very thin. You can see the larva coming through. Others are white. Those are the fresh ones they just put in. Then they immediately have to rip that one loose and connect it to another one in order to get it to work. Here she goes, taking out another fresh batch. Oh yeah, that looks like a good batch there. Stir them up just a little bit. And you can see the individual silk threads as she takes them out of the pots here. If she takes them out of that pot for me, I don't know. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to close up of this if I can. You can see the threads from each one of the... Uh-oh, I'm starting to fog. Oh gosh, there she goes. She's too quick for me. See how fast this goes, folks. It's unbelievable. She's getting the beginning point on every one. There's the ball of useless silk to the left. And the little bowl full of larvae that are left over, right over here. That's just a little bit of silk. They use those to make soap. And I'll show you now, if you look down here, there are hundreds of workers in this factory, all spinning silk as fast as they possibly can. They get paid by how many larvae they do each day. And no, it's not just this direction. It's also 100 miles in the other direction. That's how fast they go. My camera seems to have adjusted. I'll try to get a close-up of this a little later on, but right now, you got some idea of what it's like in the silk factory. This is the brushes that they're trying to, as I said, separate the thread so they can start. Okay, we're going to fade out on this now. And I'll try to come back and show you a little more in just a second. Okay, I'm just trying to get a look here. You can see this. We're going to take hold of the silk thread. You probably can't see it. And I'm going to start unwinding from the cocoon. Hold it down lower. Lower, lower, lower. Okay, right there. That's good. Bring the other one to that area too. And if you see, as you grab a hold of it right here, as soon as I find it again, the silk winds out as you pull on it. It unwinds the cocoon itself, right around her finger right now. Unwinding. I had it just a second there. God darn it. Don't keep moving it. Okay, I'm just trying to keep it on a black background. Down a little bit now. Okay, now. Oh, well, we're losing the focus on it, I guess. I'll just try the other one over here. Don't do anything with that one yet. Hold on. Just don't give it away. Hold that. Okay. That's how the silk unwinds from the cocoon. Okay. Now we're looking at a bolt, or I guess 5 bolts of really tightly wound silk. And this stuff is wound so tightly, I can't believe how they do that without breaking the strands. But they have hundreds and hundreds of these things. And then they put them up here, and these spinning machines, as they spin really fast, it really is amazing, spin the silk from the machine or from the bolts onto these silk claws that they're making right here. That is right, and they're making these claws too? sorry, I'm wrong. Okay. They're transferring these little small bolts down here that they've made at the desk. Each person made one of these bolts, and they're transferring the small bolts to these big bolts. And I guess this is what they ship the silk in. It also dries it when they. This is what they use to dry it and get ready to ship it. So that's what these machines do. The small bolts in the background, the large bolts are the finished product, and the machine up there is spinning and winding as fast as it can. I just had, before we leave, I had to give you an idea of how big this thing is and how many of these machines, these weaving machines they have. These are the bolts over here that are done by the individual workers outside, and each one they turn in is how they, as I said, is how they get paid. But the factory has just hundreds and hundreds of these looms spinning all the time, winding and winding and winding. It really is amazing to watch this stuff being processed and being made. There you have it. A really good look at a silk factory. She's changing one right now. I just have to show you what she's doing right here. She's just taken 5 bolts off of one of these big bolts here in the front. They take them off, collapse them, and then they store them. Here she's getting ready to do another one right now. This is the final stage in what they call the quality control, where they take them off. I guess let's see what she's doing first. She's finding the end of each one. She's finding the end of each strand first. And now she's tying them together in a rather rapid fashion, if you notice. I think it's extremely rapid fashion, as a matter of fact. Now she's going to collapse the, she's tying it, she has to tie each side, I see. I don't know how many ties there are. Maybe there's just 2. That's all I see on the bolts that are over here is 2 ties. We'll find out in just a second, but then, as I said, once they finish with that, they put them in the packages, and this is where they ship them off to market. Now she obviously is tying every side gets tied. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So we'll just hold off till she gets to the last side. She's now getting to the last bolt on the last thread, or the last thread on the last bolt, and as you can see here, she's taking a little more time. She's tying up both ends, I believe, the loose ends, the 2 ends, she's tying them. Now she's going to collapse that bolt, and as she collapses it, she's going to put a stick through there so that she can, I guess she's finishing her quality control here for a second. Okay, here we go. I think she's getting ready to remove them now. She's checked them all. They all look good. And now she's going to take them and put them in the stick fashion. Okay, here we go. Now she's removing all of those bolts, which are tied together. You can see she didn't care how they fell because she did such a fine job. Now she puts them on a stick, and she's going to straighten them up. And then the sticks are stretched between the 2 ends of these containers that they put them in. They're stretched tightly. They just barely fit. And the silk is now ready to be shipped to market and made into your shirts and mine. This really is an amazing process. Next time you wear something silk, I hope you appreciate it a little bit more. Well, the rain has caught up with us. I just wanted to give you some idea of the different types of and colors of how many raincoats we've got going here. It seems to find us wherever we go, that rain. The colors are quite amazing. And coming up here right in front of us is going to be the street guard, which is always there.
Not like, not only for tourists, but for both Chinese, for local people.
Here's something that's very interesting too along these streets. Each street has a timer that tells you when the light's going to turn. And here it goes. It's now our turn. And as you can see, in order to turn on our turn, we got to wait for quite a few bicycles to come across our path. And now we're at the entrance to the Pagoda Temple, so this is the end of this segment of our film. Well, we've now reached the North Temple Pagoda, which is called the Tail of the Dragon, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to see too much because it's closed at this time. This is as close as we're going to be able to get. The pagoda itself has 9 levels, of which we can see 7 from here. I'll just pan down it really quickly and hopefully you'll be able to get some idea of how pretty it is. The original was destroyed, our guide told us, and was rebuilt. How long ago? I can't remember, Diane, help me.
I think it was 800 years ago.
Okay, we'll let her get away with that. Anyway, that's the North Temple Pagoda. We're now crossing one of the busy bridges, and I wanted you to get some idea of the number and the color of the raincoats on these bicycles. It's just amazing. It's really very beautiful. They had so many different colors. I can't believe it. And the other side, you get to see them coming the other way. Just as many and just as colorful, if I can keep the camera still here in the car for you to look at. And once again, I'm having an awful time keeping this still. We're bouncing just a little teeny bit, but on both sides of the street, very, 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 very colorful rain gear. That's rain gear, not reindeer. Okay. We're in this embroidery factory where they hand do the silk embroidery. I have to show you quickly because the sign says no videotaping again. So.
When they completed it, they cut the ends and the identical, the both sides. Exactly the same.
Did you hear about the mirror?
No.
She's using the mirror to watch the quality of the stitching on the reverse because both sides should be perfect. There'll be no threads or knots. You could use either side as the front of the...
But
And this is what she's reproducing.
The wefted also is wefting, cutting to the warp in little shutters.
And there's the mirror that Diane was talking about. And this is the very top of the pagoda that she's doing right here. This is a piece, Diane says it's very, very tightly woven. You can see the pattern drawn on it as they get ready to continue with the silk. Here are the artists working on different pictures. They have the models right in front of them as to what they're doing. All hand done. Takes a very long time.
Which makes it
This is my favorite. The kitten on the backgammon, on the badminton racket. You can see, I think, how she covers the completed portion with the plastic so that it won't get dirty or messed up as she continues to work.
different kind of shading.
Whatever they want to do.
This is
The cat of the goldfish are two traditional motifs, Susan block. Cat and goldfish.
Let them know to look at something.
and there's just room after room after room of all this stuff. You can see the building across the way. They're all doing the same thing. Some are doing goldfish and cats. So the two traditional Chinese figures that they're doing here. It takes as many as 18 different colors to do the eye of one cat. You can see over here how many colors they have when they work with these things. Well, you will be able to as soon as this man moves his head. or as soon as I move to my left, there we go, you get some idea of how many colors there are on these different. This one doesn't have quite so many as this one back here. It really does look like fur. We're getting ready to go over now and take a look at. We're now down in the showroom looking at some of the more expensive works. This is one of Oriental Fan's 39,000 yuan. No, 99,000 yuan, excuse me. And here's one that Diane really liked. This one was only 39,000 yuan. I'll let you guys figure out how much that is in dollars in a second. There she is over there trying to figure out what to spend money on. Just want to show you some of these. We're coming up on my favorite, and I think one of her favorites too, is these, the bottom one Diane really liked, the Oriental Women. And this top one, you can see from here, you should be able to tell, you can see right through these silk screen portraits. This is one of my favorites, is these kittens. You can actually even see where the kitten's paw depresses the sofa arm it's laying on. And I'll show you when I get to the other side that you can see the same exact picture from both sides. Here's some goldfish. We had a lot of trouble finding goldfish. It's supposed to be one of the most common things they do here. And there's one of a dog and a cat. And as we walk around it real fast here, you can see that no matter which side you look at it from, or from which side you look at it, excuse me, it's exactly the same. And here comes our little kittens again. All done by hand. These are all expensive, but they really are worth what you pay for them. The quality of these things is unbelievably beautiful. I know you can't really tell that from here. Speaking of unbelievably beautiful. Hiding behind the cats. One little kitten to the next. Now there she came out. Okay, we'll let her have a break. We're now in the lingering garden.
30% garden.
What you're looking at in front of us is
And also around the garden, you see long corridor.
a picture made totally of jade, all different colors of jade.
Or you can walk under the corridor, enjoy the scenery, even in rainy day.
I'm pushing our guide out of the I'm going to back up here for a second so I can get the whole
This
thing.
corridor connects to all the beauty.
The whole thing is all carved out of jade, different colors and different size pieces. That's the entrance to the garden. And now we're going inside. We'll leave the fader off here and try to give you a good view of the garden. And we're looking at part of the garden through the lattice window.
So through the lattice window, the scenery in every section becomes beautiful, but not a quality view. So the lattice window produces an attempt effect.
You can really get an idea of how pretty it is.
Well, only to go in, find out. So that's the process. Yeah, different.
Also, as you notice, every window from which you view the garden is different. Every lattice window is a different shape. And now here's an unobstructed view of the garden. I think they have a few school kids here for the day.
And here is the century of this garden. And here you see surrounded the
Quite
pond,
beautiful.
The designer have chosen 4 spots to.
And this is Diane speaking her Chinese. I guess I didn't understand you, Diane. Say it again. Now give him a... Yeah, she draws quite a crowd, that little carrot top. Look here, Diane's found something blooming in China. I think it's the only thing that we've seen in the whole country that's blooming. And I'm not even sure what it is.
It's wisteria.
It's mysterious?
Wisteria.
Oh, wisterious. Okay, at least we found something. And this is going to be one last look at the garden before we go with its symbolic rock. This is one of the central points of the garden. I think these gardens would look quite different in the spring with a teensy-weensy bit of foliage around. But we have to do what we have to do. And that's our look at the lingering gardens. I hope that lingers with you for a long, long time. It'll have to. Okay, I had to film one more thing. Every time we walk into one of these reception rooms, first thing Diane notices is the opium bench. She seems to be able to pick them out really quickly. Plus, also, as soon as we walk in, she starts going, ming, ming, ching, 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 ming, ming. And she tells me who did what and what it came from. She's really good at this. Watch, I'm going to get her in the picture here. Watch her as she displays her expertise. Okay.
We are now in Mandarin Duck Hall, and it's named that
No hints.
it was for a couple.
Yeah, this
where there was
building,
Superman.
whole building called Mandarin Duck Hall because the owner compared the building to a pair of Mandarin ducks. This part for male, another part for female. So male and female.
Okay, this is the male part.
What does Mandarin Duck
Mandarin ducks
The
mean
floor
love,
tiles are bigger.
fidelity, and a faithful companion.
Love, fidelity, and faithful companion.
And the whole room is different. The windows are square here. The room is a little bigger. And the beams are all square and cut with ornate carvings. Then we go into, and you'll see how they have them separated for the male and the female. There's two reception areas, one for the men and one for the women. And we get over here to the girl part. Now we have littler tiles on the floor. We have a fancier opium bench. They have a little bit classier opium smoking area here. I think Diane really liked that. The beams on the ceiling are all round and uncut. And of course, last but not least, that thing that women must have in the corner over here, their makeup mirror. Boys don't need that. Anyway, just wanted to show you the difference. Now you've seen it. And we'll close out with her favorite opium bench right here. We've just stopped on the bridge. The town of Suzhou was completely surrounded by a moat in order to protect the town and the people in the early days. And this was part of the moat. Each moat, there were 4 entrances to the city, and the gates to the city are up ahead around the corner. We won't be able to see them. Now we'll look down the other direction across the bridge. A typical morning in Suzhou. And Diane's telling me to come on now, so.
No, I thought you wanted to cross the street. I was going to help you.
Well, we've seen it in every direction. Very interesting. I don't think she wanted her picture taken. As you can see, the canal is quite busy. Crossing another little bridge now. Very beautiful. And fading out. We're now in the jade factory. You can see me in the background there. What a fine job of filming I'm doing here. Filming some different types of jade. I think it's having a little trouble focusing because of the mirror in the background. just some different pieces of jade as we look around here. They're different colors. There's yellow jade, white jade, the dark green jade, and what he called jadeite. And all the different types of jade have a different value. Here's Diane preparing to make a purchase here. And looking at the different types of jade. Here's a piece of pink jade. I'm not sure how clearly this will show up. The different types of and different colors of jade and different qualities.
This is carbon brass. It's brass.
I'll try to keep the glare of the lights out as we go down the cabinet so you can see the different types of articles there.
Carving, diamond for carving. Diamond for carving.
They use diamond tips for carving.
It's a big piece. This piece is one person carving 1 month finished. 1 month finished. And carving finished is for one person polishing. Polishing is 10 days.
Oh, to polish it takes 10
Diane intently
10 days
listening
for
to the
polishing.
explanation.
Polishing finished is and best color, natural color.
brings out the shape.
Yeah.
With a jet dragon.
This big piece is one person carving in 6 months. It's
Pagoda boat
jadeite.
of jadeite, 6 months to carve the one piece.
It's one piece.
You can actually see through it.
Dragon birds. Here you have natural water. Water inside. This is the best piece.
There's water actually
Yeah,
inside
water
of it. You can see it as it sloshes back and forth. If Diane drops this, we'll probably have to live in China for the next 5 or 6 years.
10,000 years old.
Yeah.
Look how precariously she's holding it. Good gosh, Diane. Oh, she's smooth as silk. It's just amazing to me. Sometimes she does amaze me.
Agate is have many colors. This is agate. This agate. This is agate. This is black.
What's agate?
It's BCJ, Canadian jade.
From Canada?
Okay, I think we've now seen
You can
enough
find
jade
Canada.
to last us for quite a long time.
I've been to Canada.
We're going to fade out on the jade factory.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
This is me hanging out the window of the car, trying to get some good pictures. And up ahead is what we've been trying to film the whole time we've been here, to show you how they cook everything with coal. And we're going to pass a coal cart here. Here it comes right here. You can even see the shape of the briquettes. How they use it for cooking and heating and everything else. And this is a look back down the street. I better get back in here before I get hit in the head by a bicycle and I could be a goner. Today we're getting another look at the North Temple Pagoda, which we didn't get a chance to see the other day because of the rain.
At the top is a little yellow line that you can hardly see. And the picture must be inside of it.
It's very beautiful. It's the tallest building this side of the Yangtze River. We'll stop it for now. Now a look from a lot closer. The North Temple Pagoda. I know it's a little bit on the hazy side today. That's it. We're fading out on the pagoda. Can you guess where we are now? I thought the noise might help a little. We're at the train station waiting for car number 14. There's that little trooper, Diane Taylor, ready to continue her adventure in China. Let me just show you. I think she noticed me filming her that time. I better turn this thing off. Oh boy, I hate it when I get caught.
Right now I'm in the bathroom on the train on our way back to Shanghai. Trying to give you a little bit of view of what it looks like. That's the outside window that you can't really see outside of. That's the mirror. Sink. And one of the famous mops that Harry swears they make out of their leftover clothing. As you can see here is the foot pedal, which is also used as the flusher to this very modern and wonderful thing they call the toilet here in China. These are the foot pedals. And as you can see, this toilet has been used, so we can show you the full effect of the foot pedal. Yes, that is a piece of toilet paper there. I'm going to make my way over here to the foot pedal. And I'm going to flush this for you. And you can pay special attention that is going directly outside of the train onto the tracks. And it didn't do a very good job getting the toilet paper. But that is the bathroom on the train.
Little Diane wanted to see some of the billboards here, so I thought I'd show her a couple. I'll let you see a couple. They're oblong, round, oval, all different kinds of shapes and sizes. Oh well, we'll just have to fade out on the round one. We're just entering the Temple of the Jade Buddha. I don't think that this is the Jade Buddha. This is just the entrance to the temple. But we'll find out in just a second. We're on our way in now. There's Jean and Diane having a little chat. And over here, as we walk inside through the incense smoke, which is driving us nuts, are two more carved Buddhas. This one doesn't look at all happy about the events of the current day here. Looks sort of like Diane when she gets irritated at me. It's really amazing. She's probably heard me say that, and I'm going to get in big trouble, but I hope she's distracted enough by Jean to not be paying attention. Uh-oh. She's not that distracted.
These are two kings. They're the Eastern kings.
And it was said he can once he see enemies come, he just pray.
Okay, I better cut this off. I'm in trouble now.
And also called a king of virtue.
Northern King here.
And the holy stand is called a parasol. And this parasol can be unfolded with the Buddhist streamers on a special celebration.
Ooh.
And also he used this parasol to catch the enemies because once he opens
Here she is again.
storms and
They're repairing the Buddhas here. King of what? Here's Diane getting ready to light her incense in front of the lucky Buddha. She thinks she's going to get lucky. There she is. She's lighting up now. Jean. I don't think you get to make a whoosh like in the birthday or something. Okay, here she goes. She's lit up. She's got the fieriest one there too. Look at that baby burn.
Yeah, you can make your own wish.
Oh my gosh, she's doing the ritual stuff now. No telling what she's doing down there. Let's see if she looks serious. Let me zero in on her face here. I can hear a cackly type of giggle, but she won't look over my way. So, oh, here we go. Look at that straight. She does have a straight face, doesn't she? Okay, well, we can zoom out of there now. She's done. She bowed to the left, bowed to the right, and she's all
I think
fixed up.
Harry needs to do one for the Lucky Buddha.
I gotta look, get a little look at Mr. Lucky here.
So we
Here
have
we
good
go.
luck.
Lucky Buddha. Boy, he got some memories on him, let me tell you.
Smiling lucky
Smiling
Buddha.
Lucky Buddha. Okay, we're clicking out on him. I have to go light some incense right now. This is something on the top of the temple, and I bet it means something, but I'm not sure what.
Oh, over there, the carving, clay carving. It's called, have you ever heard of Monkey King?
The Monkey King.
Oh, we know the old
Journey
Monkey
to the
King.
west. Traveling around to the west into India and Burma, they want to get the Buddhist sculptures back to China.
Monkey
So on the way
King
to the west,
headquarters.
they came across
Kings. We saw those in
And this is the other side of the temple. Whoops, of whatever. I'm not sure.
We have a series, TV series for the Monkey King. Yeah.
And we have another incense as we enter the temple here. And as we come up here, yet another large Buddha. Still not the jade Buddha. I guess I should let you know that there's 3 here. I was only zeroing in on the first one, but there's 3 here. They're all just as cute. One is just as cute as the next.
You want to find out how in the world people live so poor and some people live so.
Okay, now you've seen them all. Diane wanted me to get some of the kites. I'm using an exact quote here. She thinks these are kites. It's okay. I think it's very cute. Now we have some of the kites in the photograph and the movies. And now just a quick look down at the first 10 Buddhas. Oh, I don't know if these are even Buddhas, but there's 10 of them, all in a row. And one of them, the female, the 4th one in here, has a son, but she had a problem with always eating. I guess that's a female disorder here, I don't know. But anyway, there it is. She had that, so here's her poor little son down here. And she transmitted that eating disorder to him. And you can see what the father thinks of that. Oh, golly day. Here's a picture of the hungry witch right here. Oh, and she eats children. And she eats all other people's children until somebody one day stole her favorite child. And when her favorite child couldn't be found, she got very, very sad and finally realized that she'd been really awful to eat everybody else's children, so she didn't munch out on kids anymore. The end. I just wanted to get this guy close up. Every time you think that you just don't have your hands full, well, just think if you're in his position. The God of mercy. My gosh, he's riding on a duck head. Look at this. I think that duck is winking at me. I'm pretty sure.
So this time he set his feet on the alligator head, this alligator head. Cross the
They
ocean.
think that's an alligator. I know it's a duck.
Up to the top. Above him is the man, is I say the
Okay.
founder of Buddhism.
Uh-oh, it's time for something. I'm not sure what.
For chanting.
For whom the bell tolls over there.
So underneath the gold figurines, this small stuff is called the cycle or aha.
Let me see what the duck's doing.
Higher than the monks. They have their own
Doesn't seem to care. Okay, we're done here.
temple. So in this
Now I figured out where the noise is coming from. This is an afternoon lesson. This is the monks.
they always keep chanting. This chant people. That lasts about 20 minutes or half an hour. So 20 to 30 minutes each time. These are seniors. And senior nuns. Oh, some people like the donation. Not often donation, but also
View from the other angle. We haven't got time for the whole ceremony. Can you see if we can we take a video instead of a picture? Will you let us take video? There's no flash.
So, 你看，伊把拍照像一个录像录的类似吧？
啊。
伊没个。
No.
Okay. This is their room.
Piece of Burma jade.
Yeah.
One piece of jade.
One piece.
Yeah, 110 years old, 111 years old.
And it's
Born in
priceless.
1868.
And it's Burma jade, which is the most valuable.
Yeah. So during Cultural Revolution, all the churches were closed down. Fortunately, this temple was well protected by the soldiers.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yeah. That's why the Red Guards couldn't get into the temple. Otherwise, they would destroy, smash down the jade Buddha statues.
Yeah.
Fortunately. On both sides of the temple, Shanghai, for the newly built temple. That's why this temple is named after Jade Buddha. But also we have temples in China with the Jade Buddha too, like temple in Beijing, in Chongqing, and other provinces, the Jade Buddha, but not so big. They're reclining Buddha, sitting posture.
Now, is Buddha a god, or was he ever human?
Never.
No.
Never. Here's Diane filming the Jade Buddha with a flash that she should never take. She feels guilty as Dickens, I'm sure. In case we don't have it, here it is, all the way down. It's a very beautiful Jade Buddha. I hope the head monk doesn't shoot me for this. He's over. Well, here we are on the waterfront of what river?
Wampu River.
The Wampu River.
Yeah, Puha.
When Marlon Brando made the movie On the Waterfront, this is exactly what it was like. I think somebody has gas behind me, but I'm not sure.
So far we don't have a bridge.
Here's Diane getting more valuable information. There's really not much more to this, folks. I'm gonna let you look down the river the other direction. See the new TV station that they're building. That would be right there. And then continue on down the river to where the big freighter's coming through. And on around to the other side. And some tour boats coming down the river. Now there's a luxury cruise for you. Look at this. A luxury cruise down the, I've already forgotten, Yapu River? I don't know. It's about to be obliterated. Anyway, that's the very end of the river tour. There goes little Diane right there in the corner. Look at that little cute face. Looks so serious. It's more fun when she doesn't hear me. I want you to get an idea of what it's like trying to get on a bus. So watch these people here. Now look. This is how they're getting on. This is how close it is, how tight it is. They're trying to get that last. Oh, that guy almost. Oh, it's a crusher. Look at this. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. He's in there. No, can't get in. They won't let him in. They're pulling him off now. They're pulling him. They're banging on him. They said, "Get off the bus, boy." They're not going to let him on. I'm telling you, these buses are so packed with people. I mean, it's unbelievable. Ah, he made it. Just absolutely packed. Just watch as this thing goes by. You won't believe it. Every bus is that way. I think I made a little mistake there. I hit the wrong button. Somewhere down here is Diane, if I haven't lost her already. There she is at the end of the street. And there goes our bus. And I mean wall-to-wall people. Okay, time for me to go find the redhead. The streets of Shanghai. This is Diane on her first time bowling ever, and it's in China. Go for it, baby. Uh-oh. Confused. I don't think they know how to score. I have no idea. They're distracting her. She did better the first 3 frames. Here she goes again.
We're gonna have to erase this if I don't get it.
Oh, look at that English. It's a big 7. Okay, and now she's over there scoring. Time to fade out on Diane in China. Okay, folks, Diane's in the shower, and I'm going to show you now some of the damage that she's done on this trip. These were the incense sticks, fragile and delicate, that we were bringing back to have with our dinner party, and this is what she did to them all by herself. She destroyed them. Now next I'm going to show you something I know you've seen before. Yes, you'll recognize these. She was going to take good care of these, wasn't she? Those are the little fish I told you, that full of the soy sauce. Yeah, well, she couldn't part with them. Here they are. Oops, my hand slipped. And now, one of the most important things we have on this whole trip, let me get everything else out of the way. These are part of Diane's lifeblood for this trip. She's had a fingernail crisis the whole time, And this has been one of her major life-saving devices, is these little scissors in my Swiss Army knife. And now, let me move that. We go to the last and most important article in the whole thing, and that is the nail clippers. And boy, has she used those over and over and over. She's getting out of the shower. I have to stop now. Bye. We're getting ready to take off from Shanghai to Beijing.
Yes.
And we're on a very modern, sophisticated aircraft. Look at that cockpit. Checking, let's see here, temperatures, fuel. They have 3 captains. 3 captains. 1, 2, 3. An engineer. Very nice airplane.
Yes, it's very nice. What do you fly aircraft?
I fly McDonnell Douglas Super 80, MD-80. And we're fading out on the cockpit. This is little Petunia. She's now sitting in case you can't see this, a very plush first class seat on a 757 Boeing airplane. She's in 2D. She hasn't actually complained, even though I've sort of weaseled our way into first class by showing my ID to the captain. But it seemed to work on the last 2 flights. My only regret is I didn't do it earlier. I want to show you what our first class meal is here.
Keep in mind that it's breakfast.
We come over here, and first we have a pastry of sorts, which is one of the few things that Diane has even touched, much less attempted to eat. Then we have another pastry. You can tell what she's going to look like when we get home. In fact, I'll give you a look at that pastry on a plate that has some food eaten from it. This is what the pastry looks like before it's inhaled. Now back over to her plate. We have a packet of walnut meats. The meat of the walnut, made by Amber Sugar Coated, and probably very tasty. We're not quite sure yet how tasty they are. I mean, she turned the bag too fast there. It's glared in the camera. She's having a fingernail crisis again. And over here we have some strawberries, which are quite tasty, she says, although she can't figure out why they're so sweet. Now we have the main course, which is some baby corn, which she hasn't touched. Some kind of cucumber, which she hasn't touched. A piece of probably dog gizzard or something that I'm eating, and she's appalled, telling me it could be months before she comes near me. Then there's the deep-fried eel, which I have also eaten, almost all of mine already, which she won't touch. Notice the pleasant background music. Then we have some shredded cabbage or something of the sort, a fruit or vegetable, nicely decorated, which we have no idea what it is. And then her beverages. She's had so far a Coke, some tea, some coffee. Now, you notice that over here, there is no beverage. There is no beverage over here because I've had to order double beverages so that she will have all she wants to drink for her meal. I hope you understand how important that is.
I've been on a liquid diet.
Yeah, she has been on a liquid diet. First class on a 757. That's the way it is. Shanghai Airlines. Well, here we are on our last day in Beijing. And remember this lion? We saw him about a week ago when we were here. And Diane was sitting up there playfully having fun with him. Well, I want you to look what's happened to him to show you that nothing is safe in China here. He's now for sale for only $115,000. And how does Diane feel about that? Well, let's ask her. See if she has a pouty look. Look at the look at the pouty look. That's not a good pouty look, Diane. Okay, she's very sad that her little lion is now for sale. Well, I have to tell you, if I was going to pay the $115,000, I'd buy the one on the right. You guys can make your own choice.
The red lights on the bottom, what does that mean? We're in the Friendship store now looking at some tea sets. Harry's decided to buy his parents a beautiful yellow set. He's looking them over now to make sure that everything's exactly perfect on them. Harry won't be joining them for tea as he doesn't drink it. I've been drinking all my tea on this trip alone. You can see over here they're displayed in the display cabinet.
Tell her she has to take my choice, though. I've picked her color right up there. Show her that
He's picked a beautiful color.
There were two
for you.
choices, and she's got the one I picked.
This is the complete setup here on display that Harry's chosen. Beautiful yellow. That matches a piece of ceramic that we believe you already own. This was the other choice. It was a light mint green. We have 24 pieces, which consist of a dessert plate, a teapot, a cream and sugar, and 6 coffee cups.
We have a long flight. I'm asking for more padding over here. We have a long flight. Got to be perfect. Perfect, yeah. Gotta be safe. My mother will kill me if it's not perfectly safe. Extra padding, Mom. Extra padding.
He's such a good son.
We'll put another piece. One more piece. Around, no. Put another piece. One more.
This is Harry speaking Chinese. He does it so well.
Ah, work though. Yeah. Double wrap. Double wrap, Mom. Extra safe. They'll be glad to see me gone, I'm sure.
Well, now they'll have to invite us over for tea.
The Bridge Club will love this.
Well, we'll leave Harry to pull out all that FEC to pay for this. Bye.
This is the famous Peking Duck restaurant at which we ate on the first night that we were here. We're now coming up on what we believe to be the largest Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant in the world. 3 levels. Look at the size of that KFC, baby. The largest Kentucky Fried Chicken in the world. Whoa! What a driver we have. Well, here we are at the counter of the Beijing airport, where it looks like we'll have no problem getting on. We see only a couple of hundred people standing in this line. I don't want to show you how far back it goes. I don't want to depress Diane too much. But Mike, should we find somebody that speaks English here? A guy named Mike. He's the manager of the airport for United anyway. And he told us that no problem, man. We just checked in here, and Mike told us to take a little rest for about the next hour, and he told us where to go. So let me show you where he sent us here. I'll show you. Diane's over there waiting with the luggage. Look at this. No, it's even worse than that. We're not over there by that nice clean place. Here we come. I think we'll find her any second here. There's Diane, and she doesn't know I'm filming her. Standing over there by the lockers. Now the lockers don't have keys, by the way. They're all unlocked. You can go into the lockers and take whatever you like. Notice that bottom number 38 there? That's all open, see? Isn't she cute, just so patiently waiting for the airplane? Really, she's patiently waiting to find out if she has any chance to get on the airplane. Uh-oh, checking a watch there. Better move back or she'll see me. Anyway, this is the beginning of our trip home, and if we can just get on this flight to Narita, Tokyo, we'll be okay, I think, because they have plenty of flights out of Tokyo. So we'll come back in a while and let you know how we're doing, but right now it's 2 hours and 10 minutes before departure. That's right, Dad. For your information, I want you to know we came to the airport 2.5 hours before departure. That's arrival at the airport, Dad, 2.5 hours before departure. I knew you'd love that because it darn near killed me. But in order to get my free breakfast, I had to do it. Okay. Wish us luck. We may need it. It's now 20 minutes before departure. 20 minutes before departure. And we still have no idea if we're getting on. I think Diane's getting a teensy bit on the nervous side here. She's over there just patiently waiting to bother somebody and ask a question. Uh-oh. All she's found to talk to is a baggage handler. She's not too sure what she's doing here. She's trying to corner Mike. Uh-oh, here she is. She's getting him now. Let's watch her face and see if we're going to get on. I don't know. She has that serious look. Uh-oh, he's pointing at her. I think she's getting excited. I'm sure that she's... Oh, no, she's getting out of the way. Look at her trying to get information. Boy, I sent her over to do a job and she's going to do it. Go to the other line. She's looking for me now. She just figured out I'm filming her. She's in big trouble. I'm in big trouble.
see this piece of footage. But I bet you will. We're fading out now before she wakes up. Well, here we are back in the United States, waiting for our baggage in San Francisco International Airport, trying to keep all the little guys from running in front of my camera. I'll just get closer and closer and block them off. I'll fix them. Anyway, we had a great trip. Diane, look at that vigilance. She is really eyeballing it, and she's going to find that baggage. And now we got to go find the phone and call Mr. Keith. See if he'll come get us. This should be some tape. I know that. Okay, we're fading out on San Francisco's airport.
So now in the waiting area, United Airlines, domestic flights. Harry and Diane had no trouble getting all the way
Those
from
of you standing by
Beijing
for first class on 936, the first class cabin has checked in full.
to the United States on airlines where they didn't speak English. But as soon as they got to Los Angeles, San Francisco that is, they had a little trouble getting out of San Francisco to Los Angeles. Partly because of Harry's finesse. Oh, there's Harry over there. Looking
Passenger
very
True and
despondent.
Star.
We were originally on the 10 o'clock flight. We missed that. Then we missed the 11 o'clock flight. We're hoping now to get on the 11:30 flight. There's the 11:30 flight, flight 936. We don't have very cooperative United Airline personnel either.
Well, this is it. This is the absolute end of our trip. We're back. We couldn't find Keith. And Terry has come to save me and bail me out. There she is in there right now. Oh, she won't look at me though. You just shut the thing. Okay. We're on our way home. We're fading out. Our trip, laying on the sofa with the stereo cranked as loud as she can get it, and she's passed out. I just went to the store to get some food. I've been gone about 15 minutes. She has no idea that I'm even back. Rattling bags, opening the refrigerator. Nothing makes any difference. She is gone. I think she'll be this way for a while. I hope you've enjoyed this trip to China. Now we're back in the USA. It will probably be like this for a week. Folks, I know I promised you that we had finished the end of the tape, but this is just too unbelievable. All night long, ever since we got back from China, we'll go for about maybe 10 minutes, just barely 10 minutes. And then we have a rapid fading session from poor little Diane. In this case, which is probably about the 4th of the night, we just got finished folding a load of laundry, and we no sooner finished folding the load of laundry than she puts her head down. And as soon as she puts her head down, it's like somebody turning out a giant light bulb. I mean, it's really almost unbelievable. You would never think that anybody could go to sleep this fast. It was absolutely less than a minute and a half ago that I left her here. Pretty soon you'll even be able to hear her. She might even give you one of those little special snorting lessons. Well, I don't know. This is just the way the trip has gone so far. And we're zooming in on the toes now. An amazing thing when you look at it close up, isn't it? Now you can see why they say this little piggy went to market. At least they come in an evenly matched set. This will be another one of those things that gets me in big trouble. Can you believe, though, that I'm narrating this whole thing, and we're only inches from poor little Diane, and she still has no conception of what's going on? We'll see how close we can get, but I can't talk too much. Well, if that wasn't enough to get me in absolute big trouble, I can't imagine what would be. So now, once again, late Sunday night on the 21st of February, we sign off, and this time it may be for the last time. I'm sure when Diane sees this, for me it will be the last time. Good night. We're taking a ride here through the city
Xi'an. Just trying to give you a little local flavor here. As to what it's like. You notice that the horns are hot wired to the blow position. Trying to cover my wind button here. We're going a little faster than normal right now.
Why would I want that, Diane? In case you don't do your job, is that it?
Well, we've been told that we can't. He wants my flash to accidentally go off.
However, she wants me to film continuously where we're not supposed to film and say, oh, no sweat.
It was your idea.
Oh, does that mean you don't like it?
No.
That's what I thought. Well, here we are at the Terracottas. This is the excavation pit number 1 where we can't film, but we will. And over here is excavation pit number 2 where we can't film, but we will. Should be interesting. It'll probably be a little bit fuzzy from here on in as far as the holding of the camera, but I'll do the best that I can. And now one last look at Din.
Hi, Jessica.
The beginning of where we can do nothing.
Now here we are. This is a bronze chariots and horses exhibition, and here display the 2 sets of bronze chariots and horses, which discovered in the western direction of the emperor's tomb mount. So you see, this is a picture, the hill. That's the emperor's tomb mount. The emperor's buried on the ground, somewhere on the ground of the hill. And the chariots, bronze chariots in the western direction of the mount. And here we are. This is the eastern direction of the emperor's hill. Here is 1.5 kilometers. This discovered in December 1988. That's an earth.
And this is what it, I guess this is the area where they found the terracotta. There it is in the center, right over here. The mound, surrounded by a wall. This is a scale model of what it looked like. Maybe if I close in, you won't be able to tell it's a scale model. And here's the sign again, hopefully from a position during which you will be able to read it.
The south and north and the west ends, respectively. So they all facing outward. They are supposed to be the flanks and the rear of the bento formation.
He's filming over there. No. Pardon? Would you get mad if I took one picture? If nobody was looking, would you get mad? No. You wouldn't get mad?
Yeah.
What is he filming with his camera?
Yeah, there's still
doesn't have this guy right behind you.
So the soldiers, if they see that, so they will give the punishment, pay a lot of money. If you don't,
They'll fine you if they catch you filming in here?
Yeah. So that's.
Why are they inside of there?
Pardon?
See the people? Why are they inside?
They repair them.
Oh, they're workers.
Yeah, they work.
Oh, they actually go in there and fix them.
Yeah.
Look at this one, doesn't have a head.
you see all the soldiers are facing to the east because in before the Qing dynasty was founded, there are 7 kingdoms in China. So the Qing conquered the other states, unified China, and why they facing to the east? Because the 6 other kingdoms located in the east direction of this. The soldiers all facing to the east. That means this shows the emperor's determination of wiping out the 6 other states and unifying the whole China. You see the warriors unearthed here, they are about 1.78 to 1.90. Huh? 开着呢。
拿过来。
是吧？
What?
You said it's a video.
No, it's not on.
他在没开。
带过来。
Oh, excuse me. Harry, you want me to go see?
Huh? What?
我给他说了好几遍了，他还是。
Do what?
Oh, this is.
Here's one of them stupid figures I almost got arrested trying to get a picture of. My father's going to love hearing about this story, I can tell you that. We'll just show you some of the stuff in here.
Technology, yeah.
Okay, this is how these guys put it together, I guess.
Look at the mold. Here's a horse's leg.
Yeah.
Coming out of the mold.
Yeah.
And then they're putting it together.
Putting that big horse's neck on.
Look at, he's hitting him. He's disciplining him.
Just tell the technology.
And here's a guy with his hand inside the horse's neck. That's where they have to put the neck on. Now I see what the holes are for.
They still have the holes on them now?
Yes, they do. They've got caps on them. Here's one of the generals right here. We've got a whole bunch of those already down there in the old pit. Here's another one. This is just a warrior, I think, a commonplace warrior. He's given a thumbs up. And this guy here is another one, little different look. Try to get the glare off of them for you. There we go. Here's one more. That one was an officer. And this last one is another officer. He's wearing a long robe, very colorfully clad, so they say. Can't tell it from here. This guy here is an archer, and it says on there that he was pretty tall, I guess. He wears a battle belt and armored suit. Here's another shot of a big general with some of those giant general boots on and those cute turned up little shoes. Sort of a pot belly there, don't you think? Okay, this is the last general we're going to show you. These are some of the original figures. Looks very similar to the general we showed you just a second ago. What can we say? And here we go. We're getting ready to fade out on those terracottas. I'm not quite been arrested yet. I wasn't really worried about it, even though I know Diane had a little heart palpitation in there. I was just unfortunate I couldn't get a hold of a smaller bill than a 5. But we got a few minutes. We'll have to see what we got when we get home. That's the way it was. and it slid over.
Well, you didn't have to take such a small piece.
Well, you can't put a big blue piece over the thing.
Nobody would notice it.
Hmm?
Nobody would have noticed it.
But this is what I may have missed too.
Oh. Now you, all of a sudden you just came over.
Because see, that's in the back of the camera where he was behind me.